Yes.
What are those?
Tekashi 6ix9Ine, Pix. Yeah.
Mr. Hernandez, where were you born?
Bushwick, Brooklyn.
How far did you go in school?
About the 10th, 11th grade or so, like that.
What? Mr. Hernandez, are you currently in federal custody?
Yes, sir.
Approximately when did you start living in federal custody?
About November 18, 2018.
What were you arrested for?
Racketeering charges, violent crimes, shootings, drug distribution.
At some point, did you decide to cooperate with the government?
Yes.
When did that happen?
A day after, November 19th, the day after we was taken down.
In connection with your cooperation, have you pleaded guilty to certain crimes?
Yes.
What crimes did you plead guilty to?
I believe it was 9 counts of racketeering, shootings, and drug distribution.
Now, you listed racketeering as one of the crimes to which you pleaded guilty. Were you a member of any gang?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the gang that you were a member of?
The non-trade bloods, non-trade blood.
Approximately when did you become a member?
Around, I would say November of 2017.
What sorts of things did 9 trade members do?
I'm sorry?
What sorts of things did 9 trade members do?
We participated in a lot of, violent crimes, robberies, assaults, drugs, sorts of that nature.
Mr. Hernandez, do you recognize anyone in the courtroom who was a member of 9 Trey when you were a member?
Yes.
Who do you recognize? And if you can identify that person, can you identify where they're sitting in an article of clothing that that person may be wearing?
Hall, Anthony Ellison has a gray suit on. And Nuke Ajuman Mac has the brown suit on with the white thing on his head.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witnesses identified Mr. Mack and Mr. Ellison?
Yes, the record reflects that Mr. Hernandez, in sequence, identified Mr. Ellison and then Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Hernandez, we'll turn back to 9 Trey in a minute. Before we do, I'd like to ask you some questions about your life before 9 Trey. Where'd you grow up?
I was raised and lived in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Where'd you go to school?
For elementary, I went to PS59. For middle school, I went to Walmart Campos. For elementary, I went to PS59. Middle school, Juan Merle Campos, and high school, for the time being, went to Legacy High School. Legacy High School.
Did you work?
Yes.
What'd you do?
I started working at I want to say the age of 13. My first job was at the Greenpoint Youth Court. It's a job that handles like misdemeanor cases for youth, where the youth acts in like a bailiff, judge, jury, youth advocate, community advocate type of thing. I did that about for 2 months.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to cut you off. I think you are speaking so close to the mic that you're blurring some of your words. Maybe move back a tiny bit from the mic and keep your voice up and keep speaking slowly. Thank you.
So I did that for about a year. I didn't make a lot of money doing that, so I started working with my brother, busting tables. I did that for about a year and a half. Then landed a job at a grocery store named Stay Fresh and Grill, where I worked as a delivery boy. I did that about for 2 years. I worked up to register. Shortly after that, I landed another busboy job. And then after that, became a rapper.
So you said that you started a music career, is that right?
Yes,
Approximately when did that happen?
I'd say around 2014.
And how did it come about?
Well, at the store I was working in, Stay Fresh and Grill. There was a guy under the name Peter Rogers, always coming there, buy a tea and like a tilapia, some peanuts, stuff like that. He asked me if I made music and if I rapped. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, you know, got the image for it, you look cool. I was like, you know, I took it in consideration and we started making music from the deli.
And again, this is around 2014?
Yes, sir. Like late 2014, like September.
So when you started making music in around 2014, what type of music were you making?
It was more of like a rock and roll rap.
Approximately how many records or songs did you release?
8, I believe. I believe around 8.
Did you go on any tours?
Yeah.
Where did you tour?
Eastern Europe. I toured in Bratislava, Slovakia. Prague, Czech Republic. Brno, Czech Republic. St. Petersburg, Russia, and Moscow.
Were you making any money at this time as a metal rap performer?
I mean, for all those shows, I made about like $2,000 profit. I did it just for the experience.
Now, Mr. Hernandez, did there come a time when the type of music that you recorded changed?
Yes,
Approximately when did that happen?
around it changed in September of 2017.
Now, directing your attention to September 2017, did there come a time when you filmed a music video in Brooklyn?
Yes, sir.
Where in Brooklyn?
Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, on Madison between Tompkins Avenue and True.
Do you remember the address?
I believe I want to say it's 370 Madison.
370?
370.
Ms. Harney, can we please pull up for the witness what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 202?
This shit right now crazy just now.
Mr. Hernandez, do you see Government Exhibit 202?
Yes,
What is that?
370 Madison.
Is that a photograph of 370 Madison?
Yes, sir.
Does it fairly accurately depict the way 370 Madison looked?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Government Office, Government Exhibit 202.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
No objection. Proceed.
May we publish it, Your Honor?
Yes.
So you filmed the music video in front of 370 Madison?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of that song?
Gummo. Gummo. Gummo.
Ms. Harney, we can take down 202.
That one was fire.
Mr. Hernandez, how did the filming of Gummo come about?
Around August of 2017, I made the song Gummo.